Jim stated in the old interviews that irritated him as the adversary. Chrissy also acknowledged that she didn't always recognize who I had become. For love, cute clips that once seemed terrible, even for telling. Just when fans discovered another tape, they started to accept the story as true. It had culminated, supposedly from a telephone exchange between Jim and his ma. It wasn't TV. Jim replies to his mother, "It was her. The pain is palpable." His mother's words and his voice, "I cautioned you against using TV to elevate your relationship." Chrissy was captured on camera by photographers outside her residence the next morning, seeming distressed, and she covered her tears with her sunglasses. When questioned about speaking with Jim once more, she simply said if he still does, he knows where I am, and he believes in love. Though the video went viral, the story escalated further after a second clip came from the same Dropbox folder that was compromised. That one admirer hadn't seen that yet. Afternoon, Jim's final studio session night before the controversy. It was identical to he stomped through time and was heard talking with someone. Vale, the camera says, "Call it rumors, but it's verifiable. They'll understand why I needed to turn everything on. When they hear it, fire." Burning everything down turned into the week's catchphrase. T-shirts, remixes, memes, and even famous people started using it. One unsettling question brought the whole together on the internet. What did Jim Jones mean when he stated that everything needed to be destroyed by fire? Since there is still one tape that hasn't been listened to yet, based on current insider speculation. Tape that, if real, has the ability to alter viewers' opinions on the love story that influenced an entire hip-hop reality generation of television. One rumor and a dot began to go around in band circles as muttering became more intense. The last tape is regarding revenge. Betrayal is not about betrayal. Retaliation is a problem. The number #Burnettle down turned into a by daybreak. There was movement. Fans were quoting it in their captions. Slipping it into freestyles was being done by rappers, as well as whole podcasts being broadcast live in an effort to interpret each and every one of Jim Jones's unclear statements. However, the internet was completely unprepared for the next action. At 10 in the morning, an unverified Twitter account shared the lost tape, a topic beneath the Real Truth Vault, as it was called. Got over 100,000 retweets within a short period of minutes. The alleged thread contained quotes from Jim's last recording, allegedly claimed that it had been transcribed. Everyone was trembling just because of reading line 1. That wasn't the way. It was anticipated that she would learn, but I was asked to take her hand. An excerpt from the following was a thriller. Lines. The supporters erupted when Jim faced a producer who was not known. And I know what you guys did with that, he continued. Video. The amount she was paid to make me seem bad on national television. Was this his revenge? As agreed upon images of a network and Chrissy direct messages. Her screen captures allegedly in talks to sell were the executive's sudden announcement to the public. Special disdain behind the scenes. If you create your own spinoff, get it? Sentimental. The CEO said in one correspondence, and Chrissy asserted that they have replied. Rest assured, I'll make the screenshots, whether they show him crying, were they more potent, real, or fake, greater than any other. Astonishment flooded the forums. A well-known blogger for reality TV claimed to have had a sound chat engineer who examined the information in the audio. It's legit. He tweeted, "Yes, Jim was being honest." Finally broke his silence again. That afternoon, but without using words. He recently posted one upload to Instagram, a burning enchantment beside a vintage engagement photo. The picture shows the fire devouring the picture without a caption or hashtags. 2 million people enjoyed the 20-minute star's performance. They stepped in after the tweet. When loyalty backfired, 50 Cent stated, Chrissy's backfires, the world was collapsing. Even Fat Joe replied, real, in a retweet. Making actual bars out of agony while on the phone call, Tasha K., a stylist and close friend of Unknowingly. Hers went live, and the audience heard Chrissy's history. She cried. He wasn't meant to explain that section. The internet went into investigative mode following the reading of the U.S. He's aware that the cameras weren't the "what is the actual secret?" What was more detrimental than the already uncovered treachery? Our supporters took note. Something strange. Despite the fact that TMZ later stated that Jim had canceled every single one of his planned appearances during the month, he was observed leaving a video crew with a recording studio. His coat had microphones strapped to him. He was filming his own response documentary. A wave of rumors claims that the source informed Shade Room that he's not only getting his name cleared, he's revising the narrative. Receipts that will lead individuals to think again about who the villain was. As the hubbub grew, a fresh leak appeared. A 2-minute voice memo on TikTok, allegedly from one of her confidants to Chrissy. She sounded frantic, and he wasn't meant to, she said. Be mindful of Miami, they informed me. Believed that she had signed in secret. An independent agreement with a different network while continuing to use Jim's name. While others believed it concerned an endorsement controversy with missing cash. It was just business, one person stated. Now he's saying he'll drop an email for the contract. The internet divided into armies with Chrissy, Jim, and Team Truth. A burgeoning movement requesting that both give up everything. Twitter Spaces and Instagram Lives were characterized by shouting conflicts, and everyone knew, but no one was certain. By dusk, something significant was taking shape. 1 million people watched, and 500,000, even a fan, broadcast themselves live by Jim's studio to see whether smoke began to rise. Then, as though fate had arranged it, the unimaginable happened. Night is a private home video clip. All of the changes were posted by The Vault, a YouTube channel. Jim and Chrissy can be seen in their video. The living room appears to be captured many years ago. You retain pursuing music that isn't profitable, she remarks. Bills, then stop lying to me, she sobs. The environment around us. I seek the truth, not to be famous, he replies. In a matter of hours, bloggers put up a timeline that revealed hidden splits. But the video also validated what everyone had assumed about their long before love had been eroding. It was ever impacted by reality TV. The camera stops as a glass shatters, spewing ripples of shock across the fan base and making them more relatable. Each leak showed a couple who built a castle with love and then burnt it for ratings. And as Fury started to provide a way to empathy, the next unexpected event was like a meteor. A barrage of emails was dispatched. To amusement, private reconciliations, as well as confidential therapy sessions. The narrative suddenly altered after an unidentified source sent reporters hazy images of Jim arm in arm with a woman who is not named. 6 months before the timestamp, purported recordings with a line of evidence of adultery. The senders stated Chrissy discovered the pictures initially and agreed to undermine him in front of the camera because of them, with talk shows leaping down the change in Wendy Williams' expenditures. A whole section bending forward. And you're trying to tell me, Chrissy? Jim was the genius, wasn't he? Was Jim the traitor from the beginning? Has he gone public? First, to limit the harm. The video went viral, and the remarks were, one observer said, harsh. However, the storyline became more complex, leaving us uncertain of whom to trust. That same night, a group message that was published on Jim was seen on Twitter replying to the friends. Let her drop. She has photos of them. I have the footage. The reality, it's not nice, but it belongs to me. The note said as Chrissy shared one story on Instagram with a black background with the words, "You" in white letters. You cannot act like a monster and a victim simultaneously, supporters yelled. He wasn't rejecting the photos. Instead, he was daring her then to reveal them within Jim. Please quit reading from the script. Counter that was included in the minutes. One of the Love and Hip Hop cast members stated it was open digital combat. In the present notes of love sent in subtweets and shade. There was electricity online. Whenever someone believed that the storm was another lightning bolt fading down hit, the unadulterated authentic, there were rumors that the video was part of Jim's future documentary. Then, late in the night, one final leak struck like a grenade. A 30-second teaser. According to reports, once, producers shot a whole scene redoing the engagement since Chrissy was sobbing in real life. It's not on television, and they made her fix it so it would appear dazzling. Uploaded to an unnamed The Truth Is Vimeo account. Director's cut. Jim speaks slowly. The video began with piano keys, which then showed brief glimpses of an odd, broken ring box, a silhouette camera, and a contract that burns. They informed me love was supposed to heal, but it was never said to be lethal. The final sentence was written in red. Of the video, everyone learns tomorrow. Twitter swiftly transformed into a hip-hop countdown clock, while supporters begged for clues regarding the next release tomorrow. A tune, a film, or a confession. Journalists camp out outside of studios. Additionally, when consumers looked for Spotify's Jim Jones, The Truth, the algorithm went awry, showing placeholder music for a little period before fading. Was that the sign of liberation, or everyone knew, but nobody knew if it was bait? The explosion was about to happen, but nobody could forecast who would make it through. Jim's page was finished at daybreak.